Good morning. I thought I would just kind of go over some of the stuff I have on my tandem island to kind of prepare it for scuba diving, which is our main pastime. Couple little things that I've done that have caused problems is these crazy straps here. They continuously break. So I added cords inside and little 89-cent S hooks to make it so I can sit and walk around on the tramps without any fear of. Actually, when this occurred, the first three straps broke and I went in the water and the boat almost sailed away from me. So I rigged this up. The other side only just has a couple of the S hooks. It has the regular straps, but they're just short loops, just for safety. If the straps do break, then you at least don't go in the water. We also have a rope ladder for the boat that basically allows you to climb up onto the TI. Plus, we have um, double bungees on here, and I just use Spectra string. And then this little feature here makes it so the bungee can't possibly pull out more than a certain amount. So when I have divers sitting on the AMAs, um, there's no issues. The AMAs don't come off or anything like that. And actually, I have always have snorkelers just sitting on the AMAs all the time. I only have one on each side of that safety strap. I don't have anything on the front. And then to keep the AMAs from folding in, I have this 1/4 inch line that goes back and just clips in here. That stays in the boat all the time. It's incorporated into the spray skirts. So the spray skirts are extra super heavy duty, so you can actually sit on them if you want and climb into the boat through over the spray skirts. You can also store gear up there, but you don't want too much weight up here. Um, everything is always lashed and strapped. This little clip here is for my hydrofoils along with those red bands, but I never use the hydrofoils, so I just using the clip. Um, Everything's kind of hooked to the bowsprit, which is really old and ratty now. It's over 4 years old, so but it's still going strong. Then I have the same thing on this side. This is just an example. There's mask and fins. There's a dive bag. Here's a BC. We usually go out with at least two tanks each, and both of our BCs. So everything's just lashed down. So if anything happens, it comes off. These are the little safety straps here on this side. They're just little pieces of cord that are hooked onto the S clips. I have S clips everywhere, but I only have 3 of them on there. And it's optional. If nobody plans on sitting on this one, I don't even hook them up. So, and then everybody has issues with the rudder pins breaking and stuff. So what I do is I have twin engines, obviously. What I do is I keep this motor rigged with a handle, and basically what I do is just take this off, sit in the back seat, and then steer with the tiller if my rudder happens to fail and I'm out in the water. And if weather comes up and I'm trying to outrun a thunderstorm or something, what I'll do is I'll just put the sails down, drop both motors in the water, and get out of Dodge as quick as I can. 99% of the time, I just have the motors locked straight, and this is just to create less turbulence because the motors are designed to go behind a transom on a boat. So that's nothing. And then this is the planing hull mod that I made. Unless you're planning on going fast, not really worthwhile making. Um, the ladder just stows on the boat permanently, and basically it's just wrapped around this and then looped. That's it. That's all there is for the ladder, and that holds enough to hold 200-pound diver with his tanks on, and they can climb up on the boat. Most of the time, though, we take our BCs off. Then if we're going to go back in, we just clip them somewhere, and then leave the tanks with the BCs floating in the water. And then we hand them up when we're all done. Oh, these straps here are just so I don't usually take them along if we're not diving. But what I do is I take 1 or 2 tanks on each side and just lash them to this back bar. The weight's far enough back that it's not that big a deal. But if we're going out far offshore off Key West, typically what we'll do is we have a 4-person life raft that we tow behind about 15-20 feet straight behind the boat. It doesn't affect steering or anything, so it works out well. And then if we have additional divers, they'll ride along on our inflatable kayaks and then just hang on to the dinghy in the back. And then what we'll do is we'll load all of our coolers and dive gear, tanks, and everything into the dinghy and just float it. You can't tell it's back there, even when it's full. So. Then what else? Here's my jib sail. It's about 1.5 years old now, and it's starting to look pretty ratty. But it's got a heck of a lot of hours on it and a lot of miles. The only control for it is this line right here. You just, it follows the wind like a wind vane. Then when you want to engage it, you just pull it to one side or the other, and it creates a vacuum in front of the boat and pulls the boat along. If I'd have known that you have to have a certain amount of forward motion for that to even work, I wouldn't have put it on. I don't use the spinnaker very much anymore. We're planning on going down to Key West soon, so I'm getting that all rigged. That's about it. If anybody sees anything they want more details on, the automatic anchor is really cool. Basically, when we're ready to sail, transporting and storage, it's just sitting like this. When you want to go out sailing, totally automatic. You just untie it and it drops down, comes back up all by itself. Okay, that's all. The lawn people are here to mow the lawn, so I got to move the boat.